with the release of the Evo coins, now we're having to make choices about which mobile suits we want to buy. So I'm going to do a little discussion about MAHIROO and whether you should get it in Gundam Evolution and whether it's worth your money, because I want you guys to not feel like you got gypped and didn't make a good choice. So starting off, we're going to talk about how powerful it is. It's honestly very niche. It's good on defensive spam situations. So basically times in which the enemy's coming from one location, you can shoot your projectile grenades into them and just keep spamming from range. That's when it'll be good. You get a lot of ult charge off that. You do a lot of random damage. Like it just these projectiles do chunk enemies pretty hard when you hit them. So while you may not be securing the kills yourself, they'll be low and they'll just be like having a really hard time pushing forward, and then your team can secure them a lot. So that's really where it's good. But on the opposite side of that, it suffers a lot in situations in which that's not the case. So if it's playing on a King of the Hill map, or a situation in which the enemies might just be coming from random places or might be being flanked or something like that, it's just not as good. Yes, it has the ability that lets it see through walls and scout enemies around it, but if you're not using it 100% correctly, or someone just happens to sneak up on you, or even if something, you know, they're there and they know you know they're there, you still will probably lose in that situation. So it also has a high ground accessing ability, which is good. It lets it get to good positions and also deal damage, and it can bounce off of people, which is pretty fun. It has, the sights ability is very good. It only gives it to itself, but it lets it see your nearby enemies, so you can scout flankers really well. So if you think someone's nearby, you just scout them and you get free sights on them, which is really nice. The AoE stun ability it has is terrible. It literally like is really hard to aim. It's buggy. It freezes you in place, and it doesn't have a very long range. So basically, it just ends up killing you a lot of the time. You just honestly, like, it's okay to use sometimes, and only when something's gonna walk around the corner, but it's not like a proper part of its kit. It feels like it needs to be like changed. Quality of life stuff. Its ultimate's very good though. Just firing those 6 versions of its grenade 5 times into the enemy is super fun. Or maybe it's 5x6 or 6x6, one of those. And it's very high damage. It's very good. It's a very like strong team wiping ability. Very powerful. But the problem is, you know, like building it up and actually having consistent value before that usually. So essentially it's really just like, it's a projectile character in a hit scan game is kind of how it feels, because everything's fast, everything can dash around you. You're gonna have a little bit of a hard time if you don't have very good projectile aim. So with that, is it hard to aim? Is it hard to play? Yeah, basically. Well, if it's in a situation that's very good for it, you just spam against a wall. Like I'm doing these clips, you just spam against a wall, the grenades just bounce off and hit people, deal a lot of damage, and you get good value. Now, if something pressures you, that's going to change that, but if they just sit there and just take the grenades, you're going to have a lot of fun. So in certain situations, especially if you learn good bounces, you can get a lot of value, like at certain point capture situations and things like that. So, in general, though, projectiles are difficult, so outside of this very controlled situation, you're going to have a hard time. Especially, like I said, when sort of a flanker jumps on you or something like that, you get caught out randomly, you just happen to run into somebody. It will honestly just really suffer on King of the Hill maps and in places where just a lot is going on around it. Because like I said, even if it knows where people are, doesn't mean it can properly take care of them all the time. So, will it get buffed? Yes, I really do think it will get buffed. Even though like they would have to change the animation, I think they're going to change the amount of ammo it has. It needs that knocked up to at least like 5. Then it'd be pretty solid. And honestly, probably needs more HP. If it had 5 shots and it had 1000 HP, I think it'd be a good mobile suit overall. Right now, it just has 800 HP and it has a low clip size, so it just means it's like, it's just weird. You know, it's just kind of weak overall. So they could do other things too, like I said, about like raising the HP if they don't really want to change the capacity of the gun and that sort of a thing. They also could, yeah, really be like HP, and then just honestly, those are the changes they need, man. They need to make it have more HP so it doesn't lose 1v1s as easily, and they need to give it a more consistent fire uptime. So they could even nerf the ult charge and make that harder to charge if they wanted to counteract that. So bottom line, is it worth the $10 or these 990 Evo coins? If you really like playing projectile type characters, then yeah, go ahead and do it. Like if you were playing Overwatch and you like Junkrat, Pharah, that kind of thing, yes. But you have to understand, it will be frustrating in situations. You can't one-trick it, you won't be able to play it all the time, or you can, but you won't have a lot of fun doing it. So if you understand that and that's something that you're okay with, or you're just like, I'm just gonna grind and just do whatever I want, then yeah, go ahead, get it. Like it's the one true projectile character in the game. It was fun, don't get me wrong. I definitely enjoyed my game that I was playing it in this video here. I wanted to play more, but I need to record something else, but But the situation for the average player is just that you have a lot more fun and other damage units that are just consistent and stronger, essentially. So like, why play this over Pale Rider? Why play this over even like, you know, Exia, Zaku, Ashimar? There's plenty of options for damage dealing characters that are just better than this one. So, because especially something like Ashimar can do the same sort of thing by throwing fire against a wall and things like that. So, in like controlling areas. So basically, like, even though it's fun, I wouldn't recommend buying it unless you just have a bunch of money lying around that you want to throw at the game. If you're a free-to-play player, I would also say don't spend your capital on this one. Just wait and get one you like more. This is, like, it looks cool, it's fun, but you might be a bit frustrated down the line. It will probably get buffed though, so it'll get better. So if you're in this, like, I really like projectiles type of mentality, then I'd say go ahead and get it. But otherwise, I would hold off on this one. If you're looking for some more Gundam Evolution videos, then make sure to check out my mobile suit guides. I made one for all original to 14 mobile suits, and I did a Should You Main Guide series also, covering the same mobile suits and talking about whether you should actually main them in Gundam Evolution or not.